I want to talk about some things that you can do to make sure that your presentation is actually interesting and engaging. And if you don't do that, if you don't think about how you're going to engage the audience, guess what? Your presentation is not going to be engaging. That's super obvious. What's not obvious is how to fix that, because I think that's the problem, is that people would love to have an engaging presentation, but they don't know how to have an engaging presentation. So in this video, I'm going to cover some things that I think are really important when it comes to giving a presentation to make sure that it is engaging. If you are new here, I used to be an executive presentations coach. I've worked with companies and businesses all over the world, helping them to communicate their message better, and doing that through video. So this stuff related to your presentations are really important to get right, because if your presentation is not engaging, and I've seen it happen a lot of times, you're going to feel bad. You're not going to feel like you did a good job. Your confidence level is going to go down. And when that happens, you're not going to feel encouraged to give your next presentation. And to be perfectly honest, the best way to improve your presentation skills and to develop that confidence is to present as often as you can. But if your presentations fall flat, like a lot of them do, then you're not going to want to do that. I want to make sure that you continue to want to give presentations. So the number one thing you need to do when you are preparing a presentation and to make it engaging is to really consider why people are there. If someone is there and they're not sure why they're there, and you're not sure why they're there, then of course the presentation is not going to be very interesting. So number one, figure out why they're there. But when someone is attending your presentation, what do? How can you make that interesting and engaging for them? Think back to when you were a child, and think back to that great uncle or aunt or the grandparent who always made you feel like you were a part of what was going on, that you felt welcome. What did they do? They most likely were trying really hard to get you involved in whatever was happening, whether it was asking questions, playing with you, doing something with you. That same concept, that same way of engaging a child is what you want to think about when you're giving your presentations. And of course, I'm not talking about going over and tickling them and doing stuff like that. Nothing like that. What I mean, though, is thinking about what questions can you use to engage your audience with. How can you talk to them? What can you say to them that will elicit some sort of interest in them? It could be talking about something, of course, that they're interested in. It could be asking them questions. But there is a danger to doing that. And the danger to doing that is going over time. You don't want to do these things and end up going over your time limit, because that's the worst thing you can do when it comes to a presentation, aside from having a bad presentation, is taking too long to give your presentation. What you want to do in that case then is to plan for those moments of engaging with your audience. You want to incorporate that stuff into your presentation so that when you're giving the presentation, you already have enough time to do that, to get the engagement, and then still have enough time to give your presentation. The other thing you can do to make sure that your presentation is really engaging is something that a lot of presenters don't do. They end up actually wasting this opportunity. And what they don't do is they don't think about when people are coming into the presentation, what they should be doing. Oftentimes, presenters will be preparing their presentation. They'll be going through their slides, getting all the audio-visual stuff set up, getting their slides ready, getting themselves ready, whatever it might be, but they're ignoring the people as they're coming into the presentation and waiting for you to get started. That is a great opportunity for you to talk to them. Go up to people, ask them their names, ask them what they're doing at the presentation. Just engage in a simple conversation with as many people as possible. By doing that, it actually starts building rapport. People will feel like, oh, I know this person, I like this person, they talk to me, so I want to listen. If you do these things, you will have a much more engaging presentation. But if you're not even sure how to prepare for your presentation, you might want to check out this video here.